Flosstube, welcome back to my channel. It is Sunday the 13th of June 2021 today, and this is Flosstube number 70. I think I got a bit more stitching done this week than I did last week, but things have settled down a bit now, so that's kind of helped. If you haven't watched my whipping chat from Wednesday, then you won't know that you knew I was going to ring the fracture clinic to sort Ellie out because her cast was coming loose because the swelling on her foot and around her ankle was going down, and it was also sore, she said, like the cast was rubbing against the back of her heel. So I rang them up on Monday, explained the problem, got her in on Tuesday. I took her down Tuesday morning. They x-rayed it to make sure everything was still okay inside. That's fine. It's all in a good position. They can't tell if it's healing properly yet because it has only been 2 weeks. At that point anyway. So they sent us off to the cast room. We had to have the old cast cut off, which was like right up almost to her groin, which was a nightmare to work with, you know, trying to get her up the stairs or on the toilet or in the bath. Nightmare. So they said you can have a half cast on. She was so excited, and when they took it off they found a pressure sore on the back of her heel, like in the place where you'd normally get one when you wear new shoes and they rub on the back, and yeah, and it was quite bad actually. So she stuck one of the hospital's padded plasters or whatever it is they cut, dressings, that's the word, padded dressings over the top. Then she got some sticky foam. She cut a circle and then cut a hole in the middle of it so that the pressure sore was in the middle. And then any bandages and whatever she put on over the top, or cotton wool or cast, wasn't going to touch it and it wouldn't rub anymore. So she had a new bright pink cast put on, and it is below the knee, so managing has been way much easier this week. It's still a nightmare getting her in and out the bath. We end up in hysterics half the time because it's like we say, right, we'll lift on 3, and then either she'll lift before I do or I'll lift before she does, and then we end up in stitches, and in the end it's just hard to get her in the bath because we're laughing so much. But it's good that she can laugh about it still. She can now, it's easier anyway. While we were there, the doctor spoke to me about blood clots because she's supposed to spend 90% of her time, supposed to being the operative words, sitting with her foot elevated, and he asked if I'd been asked about blood clots before. I said no, it's not been discussed. And he said, when did she do it? I said 2 weeks ago. He said, do you know who she saw? No, I know what he looks like, but I don't know his name. So he just, right, okay. He says, what does he look like? I said, well, I've seen him. He's here today. He's not English. He speaks English, pretty good English actually, but he's not English, but he's white. So he's like, I don't know, Polish maybe? I don't know. I honestly don't know. He says, right, okay. He said his name and then went off and tootled off out the room for a good 10 minutes. And then he came back. He said, right, okay, quick question. Any blood clots in the immediate, families? Obviously, I said yes. Not on my side, fortunately, touch wood. We've all been, it's not on my side. But I said, her dad has had a blood clot before. This was a few years ago. Touch wood, he's not had one since. And his dad was on warfarin for many, many years because of blood clots. And his sister also had a stroke at the age of 45, I do believe, around that age. So he's like, right, okay, tinzaparin it is then. So we had to weigh her, which trying to get her on the scales with just one foot is just funny. We got there. He weighed her, and then he sent the prescription down to the chemist. And she's now on 1 daily injection of tinzaparin, which she's not enjoying, but it's got to be done. So I have to administer that at 11:30 every morning. She's looking like a dartboard, bless her. She's got 3 weeks worth of those because she's got to go back in 3 weeks. That's when hopefully it should be healed and the cast can come off, and then, start building up her strength back in that leg, because she is non-weight bearing, and that will have been 5 weeks by the time we go back in 3 weeks, so probably some physio. Anyway, that's Ellie's update. She's doing good. She is doing good, sleeping so much better now that the pressure sore's been dealt with and the cast is shorter. She sleeps soundly, which means Mum sleeps soundly, and Mum gets sort of enough hours if I remember to turn off early. You know what it's like when you're just sitting there, you're doing things, and before you know it, you look at the clock and it's like 2 hours has gone by when it feels like just 15 minutes. But anyway, my stitching has been a bit better this week. Not quite what I planned, but it's been better. So I've got 4 whips to show you. So I'm just going to crack on now that I filled you in on Ellie and show you my progress this week. So the first one I worked on this week was and I've printed a whole new load of these off because my others are looking all crinkled and battered and bruised from being in the project bag. So I've printed off a load that I'm just going to keep separately in a Polly Pocket. So yeah, my supersized Once Upon a Fairy Tale by Amy Stewart, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs, and I'm still up in this corner, loving this corner. Let's move that to one side. This week, this has had a meagre 266 stitches, but this was, I think, Sunday. I did my video last Sunday, and then the afternoon I spent, because that was my fairy tale weekend, I spent on this, and I only did 266 stitches. Let's tilt that a bit more so you can see hopefully a bit better. Whoops, sorry. There we go. It's been a lot of dark brown, I do believe, almost black, so it's kind of hard to see, but it's been kind of going around these areas here. But 266 stitches isn't a great deal, but I haven't touched it for the rest of the week because I wanted to try and switch up my BAPs. This is stitched on 25 count 1/1 full cross, by the way, and it's easy guide. I don't know. Oh, no, we don't want to knock them off. But I was hoping to do alternate weekends. So one weekend, if I work on all my other projects during the week, I was going to try and leave the weekends for my 2 BAPs. So one weekend do Once Upon a Fairy Tale, the next weekend do My World of Disney. That kind of hasn't worked out this weekend. It's just been, mind you, the Euros are on, so I mean this video is going up a bit later than I normally would do because we've been watching the England match this afternoon, which we won 1-0. So yeah, it's and I haven't completed my Facebook group challenges until like today. I've just finished one challenge using Kelly's, but Facebook is having a problem and it's not allowing me to access my things so I can put a photo up, so we'll have to see how that goes. And this afternoon I've got to get Once Upon a Fairy Tale out for the other one. I did manage to finish all my bookshelf challenges this past week for May, so now I'm on to June's. So the next one, where's my other sheet? It's underneath there, isn't it? Sorry guys, it's right below you guys. I don't want that one. Okay, so this is the next project I worked on this week. It is my Disney Villains from Zana Cross Stitch on Etsy. Let's find it. It usually helps. Okay, this week, this has had 848 stitches. This is on 25 count magic guide, so it's the pink guidelines instead of the grey. And I still forgot to do it. This is what it looked like the last time you saw it. I will get used to it, I swear. But I would have put a photo in for my Once Upon a Fairy Tale for you as well. You will have noticed. So this is what Disney Villains looked like last time you saw it. And this is what it looks like now. So I've been filling in more black. Whoops. I just felt like having a mindless stitch. So I picked up the black, came down here, and then hopped down here onto these. I think all the stitches I did, all 800 odd, are in a black, which I don't mind. I don't mind doing outlines first. And I don't think that was for a challenge. No, it was for the bookshelf, for May's bookshelf, one of them. So that finished off that one. And it doesn't want to go in there. Behave. Okay. I'll just drop that down there. And the third project I worked on this week. This got 1,192 stitches this week because I've been playing catch up on my monthly bookshelf challenges. And this is Minnie the Amazing Animal Kingdom, artwork by Amy Stewart again, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. Now this one I am extreme cross country in. I'm picking a colour and I'm going all the way around with it before I move on to the next colour. So I've actually got, I think, 5 or 6 colours that are completely finished on that one. This, as well as May's bookshelf challenge, I completed a challenge this morning for magical stitches. Stitch on a whip that always fits a challenge, even if you want to stitch something else. Well, I make this fit as many challenges as I can, to be honest. Here's what it looked like the last time you saw it. And this is what it looks like now. Now, I hope you can see the difference, but I have been out of my face. I have been filling in, there's like the bookshelf itself along here, and there's like a bronzy coppery colour, and I've been filling that in. And this giraffe, I think, as well, is a bit more stitched on that giraffe. Let's go back out so you can see the whole thing. I've actually put it in the hoop, no, hoop, it's not a hoop, in the frame, so you can see the whole thing top to bottom without the top or the bottom being rolled up. This is also on 25 count, 1/1 full cross, and this one is using only CXC thread. We made it cheaper for Kelly. So, and it doesn't look too bad. It looks pretty good. That is going to go for this month's bookshelf challenge. That'll be Memoirs of a Geisha, and I'm going to need 5,030 stitches on that one. But I did that on purpose just because I am way behind and I need to catch up. Right, my final project this week. And it's one I haven't touched for a while, actually, because I didn't like the fabric. So I actually forced myself to put it down for the bookshelf challenge for June. And I got the fabric out and I soaked it in conditioner and then shoved it back in the washing machine. And it's worked perfectly. I wish I'd done that the first time round. So it is this one. It is the Munsters from Tilton Crafts. Daniel Cordex artwork. And I remember this from being a kid. So I knew I had to stitch it. And at the moment I'm up in this corner. Haven't done a great deal on it this week because I only got it out, I think, yesterday. But it's going to come out again now. The fabric's a lot softer. And it's not, it doesn't feel like, when you pull your thread through, you can hear it kind of grating on the fabric. That's how rough it was. Now it's actually really pretty soft. And smells amazing too. So, this is what it looked like the last, I swear, this is what it looked like the last time you guys saw it. And that's been quite a while actually, but I managed to remember to take a picture before I started stitching on it because I don't know if I've got a picture that goes back that far. So I've done 277 stitches on this, and it is literally just this coming down here. There was a little bit up here as well, but mostly this. This is on 25 count 1 over 1 full cross as well. And I'm loving it, actually, to be honest with you. I don't mind the grayscale. I thought I'd be a bit, you know, because with it being a lot of black and greys and stuff, but I'm not. I actually quite like it. I really, really do. So I'm looking forward to getting that out again this week, now that I've put it down for the bookshelf challenge. That book is going to be, it's a book called The Colour Purple, and I've got to do 2,950 on that one. Then the third one, I've chosen my Once Upon a Fairy Tale. I probably shouldn't, because I said I was going to stitch it the weekends, but I've got to do 4,400 on that one. But I really want to get that last page done. I want that row finish so badly. And then I can just move on to the next row. It's always exciting when you finish a page. Even a row. The row's more exciting because then you get to start the next row down and it's a whole new bunch of things. So I'm excited about that. Sorry, guys. I don't have anything else to show you this week. I don't have any haul. I've just been looking at fabrics, but you know when you kind of look and then there's that caution in case it isn't quite the right colour you want when it gets here, because it always looks different online than it does when you get it. So there's a bit of apprehension on my part there. I want to, but it's getting it right. Anyway, plans for this week. I should have had World of Disney out this weekend, but catching up on my challenges and the Euros and, you know, lots of other things. I just haven't got round to it. So I'll stitch on this in the week and then I'll put World of Disney onto next weekend and crack it out next weekend. Hopefully it gets a few 100,000 stitches on it maybe, and pull that along a bit. So that's it from me. Thank you to everyone for watching. Thank you for subscribing and your liking and your comments. Especially ones that are checking up on Ellie. She's good now, really good. These 3 weeks can't go fast enough. Yeah. I don't even know. I've got to check my challenges out tomorrow. So there'll be challenge groups as usual for this next coming week. And I've got my monthly bookshelf challenge to really get started on because I'm already behind. Other than that, just the usual. So thank you so much for watching. As always, take care, stay safe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.